Hey everyone, so today I thought we'd take a quick look at Credo, which is a static code analysis tool for just Elixir. They referenced it quite a bit in the Elixir talks for ElixirCon down in the Lone Star Elixir event just this past week. And I haven't been using it, but we've been writing a ton of Elixir code for My Rewards project, and it's been really great. Personally, I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's been a lot of fun to do. A little bit change of stuff from Ruby, a lot of relearning, but at the same time, like when we're a small team, it's interesting to be like, all right, well, do we write this the right way? Is this syntactically nice? Is it maintainable and stuff? And this right here, Credo, gives us a little bit of some internal feedback about that, since we can't really do change reviews sometimes, or don't exactly have more senior people experienced in Elixir to show us really the right way. So I've just installed it into the base package here. So this might be the right way, might be the wrong way to do it, but I just put it on top of the umbrella project. And now that Phoenix 1.3 release candidate has been out for like a day or two, we might upgrade to that. And I think Elixir 1.4, but we'll take those as they go on. So to run Credo, let's go mix Credo, and Credo is going to give us a list of everything that we've done wrong, which is pretty cool. And so, oh my God, it really doesn't like us. So we've got a couple of, out of these, we've got 235 modules and functions, 45 inconsistency issues, 34 refactoring opportunities, and 149 code reliability issues, and 5 software design functions. Holy crap. It's telling us exactly what we did wrong, which is really cool. And so far I tried a couple of these, and when I do this, if I hit -A, mix Credo -A, I'm going to get all of them, which is really cool. So let's go take a look at these. So one of these right here, there's no white space around the parentheses brackets most of the time, but here there is. So to investigate this particular one, it's really cool because I can go ahead and copy and paste this line and be like, all right, Elixir, and because sometimes I didn't understand this at first. It's a white space issue, but like, exactly, please tell me what's going on here. So if I do mix Credo explain and paste the line there, it'll analyze that line and tell me exactly what's wrong with it, which is very, very cool. I've never seen this before. It might be in other areas, but it might not be. So let's see here. We've got an extra little space right there where it wants us to do that. It's telling us here exactly what it wants us to have, or is the preferred way is to remove that space. So if we go into that particular controller right here, so if we go into session controller test in the web folder, so let's go controllers, session controller, and we look for, what line was that? Line 39. Should be able to find that right there. So it looks like this one has it as well. So I bet you anything, if I go up way up to wherever that was the first time, 39, I'll probably have 38 as well. So if I go ahead and delete that twice, I should fix it. And I'm just going to kind of scope in here, and do I see any other ones? I don't see any other ones like right off the top of my head. And we will be cleaning up this code and refactoring it quite a bit as time goes on. But we're still just in active development. So let's go ahead and do mix Credo, and then so number 45 should have dropped down to 43 if we did this right. 43 consistent issues, and that's so cool. All right, let's take a different one here. The file has a variable name before the pattern. Most of the time files have a variable name after the pattern one. Naming parameter pattern matches. Oh, that sounds complicated too. So mix explain, mix Credo explain. So there's no white space between. Did we copy the wrong one maybe? Okay, I think we copied the wrong one. Oh. Okay, most of the time using multiple single line analysis required import use directive here, but you're using a multi-line. Okay, that's the style I use for this one. And that's fine. I'm not going to fix that actually right now. Multiple 1%. That's fine. I guess I could do that. So if we go here to look at our model, this might not be the best way to do stuff, but I took it from, I think, the Acme Bank project, because I was looking at the Umbrella project and OTP, and I can go ahead and that. And I wonder if this will probably give me a flag later on to be like, hey, I wonder if it'll be a flag there right there, because usually sometimes it likes the comma, sometimes it doesn't. I think it's multi-line if it does like the comma, but there's also a limited character amount on it, so I'll go ahead and solve that one. Any other ones that aren't just like parentheses here? So if we go here, next, Credo, explain, verify SMS. Yes, there's a lot of stuff like that, and that's just cleanup. So that's perfectly fine that that's happening there. You know, it's good to have that kind of feedback. Do some cleanup like that. We're doing a lot of, at least I'm doing a lot of learning with this here, and I know that some of them are on specs and stuff. So I believe that's another area here, and we can take a look at that as well. So let's do Credo all. Pipe change starts with raw value. Yeah, it likes that one. Modules should have module doc tags. This is an interesting one here. Is it like, so apps, let's just do one of these models here. So next, Credo, explain, module doc one. That's fine. So we'll go to that one, transaction. It wants a module doc. Every module containing comprehensive documentation, many times a sentence or two in plain English explaining the module exists will suffice. Documenting your train of thought, this way will both your coworkers and yourself and your future self. Other times you want to do this. So I want to do that. So let's look up real quick. So if we take a look at Elixir at module doc, let's see how to do this correctly. Okay, so that's up there with module doc. So what I want to do here to make this look better is before we import anything, we're going to do at module doc. Look, and get to. Now I don't know why it does that. It throws in, maybe because I tab completed it instead of enter. So if I go at module doc, yeah, that was a tab. Module, yeah, okay. Oh no. Does the extra one matter? That's probably just a bug in Atom and the autocomplete. So we're gonna have this function here. So this is the transaction struct, and well, what is this? This is the transaction struct, so really it's the model for it, and I'm still getting used to exactly how we call things. We're not calling them models anymore, and this particular folder needs to be refactored here because it's not accurate anymore. And if you listen to Chris McCord and his keynote Phoenix 1.3 and getting rid of the web, well, it's not getting rid of it, he's moving it. And it's just compartmentalizing a little bit, and I'm happy with that as well too. The difference here is that when we look at the Rails app, Phoenix isn't Elixir on Rails, if you will. It should be its own thing, and you have to do more thinking about exactly where things are going and the domains related to it. So if we were to add like blog posts to this is a good example. That's definitely one he has in the talk. So this is the transaction struct, and I'm not sure exactly what else I put in here, but it's going to have really just all the CRUD for it, and we might even take stuff out for that. But let's just save that there, and then we'll go back and take a look at the rest of the stuff. So we'll need to add on to that a little bit. Should have spec types to them, which is cool. So we need a module doc tag category view. Let's find an easier one for that. So we should have one in my rewards piece here, and I just kind of threw everything into this. So if we do at module doc, this is the primary functions of my rewards module. And so like one of the to-dos I already have for us is that like I need to break this down into more domain specific style. So right now it's kind of like everything's in one big file, which is a big no-no. But when you're trying to really discover a lot of the stuff and learn a little bit, make some sacrifices to make it work, and then refactor. And that's one of the pieces I took from a different talk from that, I believe. So if we do like youtube.com confreaks, I believe it was let's see here. This talk right here by Ben Marks, and this is actually a great.
You need a website. Why not do it yourself? Go to Wix.com to create your stunning website today.
At one point in the talk, he has a bit. Yeah, so we're talking about Credo too. Let's see if we can. So these from Benchwarmers. Not Benchwarmers, Bleacher Report. Benchwarmers. That's it. So here's a chart he has in here at one point about refactoring often, and it's just to really kind of make everything best practice. And when we're at these kind of early parts of development or a framework like that, I think it's kind of important that we stay consistent with whatever is going on in the world to make it easier. So we're going to refactor this to be more like Phoenix 1.3. We're going to refactor this to a better umbrella project. We're going to be more domain specific because it just makes sense that way. So like we've got merchant functions, and we've got really customer functions, we've got transaction functions, and we're going to make them very, very much more domain specific to the merchant in respect to certain parts, and then also in respect to each person. So we have different users with different roles, as well as merchants that have different roles, and administrators and all that kind of fun stuff. So we'll get to each one of those. So it's a module doc. It's like what the reward is. So the reward is what is given to a customer when they have met the base requirements for the reward. So this might take on a couple different things. So if they get to the amount, a merchant has one reward, and when the customer gets to a certain level, they can obtain the reward, or they get they're available to what do you call it? Redeem the reward, so the reward becomes available to them. So the reward is what is given to the customer when they have met the base requirements for the reward. I want to say e.g. account balance is greater than the reward amount property. Okay. Rewards are redeemed through a transaction relationship with of type credit. So we're doing our reward system, which is more like a banking system, and a little bit where if you make transactions, it's a debit, right? You're depositing money into your account, and that's just tracking it. And then when you redeem a reward, it's a credit. So you want to track really which reward they're redeemed and exactly what they're doing it. So if I have $10 transaction and a $20 transaction and a $40 transaction, so 10, 20 is 30, 40 is 70, and I have a $50 reward after that. So I had a $70 account balance, and then I used a $50 reward, then I would come back down to a $20 balance. And so that's what it is. So it doesn't have to be, we're not trying to overcomplicate the situation, but it keeps it more in a ledger system. So I want to do this, and we're going to go back here. Transaction is each well, it is the number of is the amount. Well, transactions is self-explained. Tracks the transaction. Well, how do I? This is the tough part with documentation. It should be self-readable, self-explanatory. Transaction is a transaction. Like it is what it is. Transaction, self-explained. Tracks the customer and the amount spent with each merchant for each customer based on the query. A balance can be calculated for the customer and merchant. So that means that like each merchant, the pairs of each merchant and each customer, because it's a many-to-many relationship, should have their own balance. Resulting in a unique balance that can be calculated for each customer merchant. Rewards are also tracked through a reference association and credit type transaction. When calculating balances, the total number of debits is summed and the total number of, I wouldn't say total number, debits are summed. Yeah. So we want to take in all the debits. Okay, the balance for a customer is the sum of the debit transactions and less the sum of the credit transactions. Okay, cool. So I think we solved this one. Kind of digressing a little bit here. So if I were to put an example, oh, I guess it's the lens right here. I don't know if you can do this so well. Example, I don't think this is. I don't want to actually do IEX, but what I would like to do is, in this sense, is really like this is, you know, balance equals sum credits minus sum, I'm sorry, debits minus sum credits, right? The balance can never be less than 0. So there's checking that needs to happen in here, and it validates that. Okay, so let's go back. Let's stop digressing for a second. And that's cool. I think we can, with this, I can hide the module doc, which is cool. Let's go look at a type spec real quick. So we did that one. Let's do this one here. So we need a type spec for that one. And so mix Credo, explain that one. All right, so we just need a type spec for this particular one. 13.7. No, I think we copied the wrong one again. I don't want to do the tests right now. It seems a bit much. Some of them don't look like they really need it. My rewards validation should have a type spec, or should have a module doc. Let's do this one here. Function 25 mix Credo explain that one. So we can go back into here. So we need for this one my rewards 25. All right, transaction. Let's find a different one. So I think we have a bunch of those. I don't know why we keep copy and pasting the wrong one here. Okay, I think what's happening here is that, so my rewards transaction, my rewards 25, 27, rewards lib. So okay. This is the line below it. Let's do this one, create deposit. Control C, mix, Credo, explain. That one probably should be a lot easier. I don't think we can, I don't know how we do type specs for these empty ones here. So let's do Elixir type spec. Did it give me what I wanted? It's interesting. I guess it didn't have any more for that. Do 13.7 mix Credo explain. Mix Credo all. Is that a lot less than the last time we did this? 34, 41, 34, 149. Okay, so there's some stuff there. Let's do a couple of these type specs. So we need to do, I wonder if that would work that way. So I'm pretty sure if we do find merchant here, it'd be like at spec find merchant, and then we're going to have a map, and then it's going to return, it's actually going to turn a named map, right? So what type specs can we return? Built-in type specs, type spec, type any, type, turn type 1. So we're taking in a map, right? And then we're returning a map. And then for this one, I wonder if we're doing spec rewards, and we're not doing anything, but we're returning, it's going to be a list, I believe, list, right? Missing return type for my find merchant. I thought this maps were okay to have. Literals map required. So this might be, it's at least a list with a type in it. Empty map, key value, some struct. So if I find one, this would be a map with merchant, right? And it lists, so I'm not really sure about that one right there. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's see if '41 consistency issues. 44. What was it before that? Okay, so I think that's correct. We're going to run our test case again and see if that fixed anything. So mix test. Because the type spec should prevent us from, I think that's an empty list there. It's not going to allow us to do the things we want it to do. Let's do it real quick. So if we see apps / my rewards, right? And we mix IEX mix, and I do my rewards dot what was it? Users rewards right? I should got an empty list. So what about users? Got a bunch of users here. So I get a list of my rewards.user. So I should be able to say, like, so this one right here, if I was doing type specs for it, would be rewards, right, or users. I should get a list of my rewards dot user, empty map like that, since we're type spacing it. So that should get me exactly what I want. Control C A, just like that. So my rewards dot users. Users, I get it. But if I did reward, right, I should get an error, right? My rewards dot users. Huh. I'm not exactly sure why it doesn't work. But anyway, I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to go. We'll go ahead and continue to work on that. We'll get all these type specs sorted out. So this should be my rewards dot merchant. This is the one I want because it's going to return one merchant. And that would be the struct for it. All right. So this one as well should be my rewards dot reward and map. Okay. All right, we're going to stop here. We'll take a look at some more type specs a little bit later. Thanks for watching.